So when we're squaring it, this will become 9, a positive. But here, minus 3 times minus 3 times minus 3, that means a minus times a minus is a plus, times a minus is a minus. So in the end, I'll have a minus times a plus. That becomes a minus. It's quite complicated. Okay, the easy thing to remember is that if I've got an odd set here, remember I add them. Because that's an odd one, this will be minus here. Quite complicated, really. So what other rules do I need to know? Well, what you could know is if I were to do things like adding. Now I can't add powers like this. I can't say 3 squared plus 3 to the 4. That does not equal 3 to the power of 6 or anything like that. You can't do that. So what you have to do in order to do this, you have to work them out individually what they are. And so that becomes 9, 3 squared, plus 3 to the power of 4 is 3, 9, 27, 81. So that actually equals 90. And you leave that as an ordinary number. And you can't do any more work than that. Now, other things you need to remember, squares and square roots and stuff like that. So remember, let's look at that now. So let's look at roots of numbers without a calculator, which is the second one. So roots of numbers. We did some fun lessons in this. Let's use a black one here. Remember, we have the square roots of certain numbers. So what are square roots? Well, let's go the other way first. Let's look at square numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. If I square these numbers, if I were to square them, I get 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared, 5 squared, 6 squared. And they equal 1 times 1 is 1, 2 2s are 4, 3 3s are 9, 4 4s are 16, 5 5s are 25, 6 6s are 36. So these are squaring it. So here I square to go this way, but then to go the other way, I square root. I find the roots of where the squares came from. So if I have another number, a very awkward one, say an estimating one, if I had a square here, where that area inside was, say, 13, and I wanted to work out what the length of this side of this square was, then I'd have to say, right, I'm going to estimate. I don't have a calculator, so I'm just going to estimate, but I know that 13 lies somewhere between 9 and 16. It's around about here. If that's 9 and that's 16, it's roughly around here. And so I'm going to guess the answer is about, so I'm going to estimate the answer is about 3.7. And I'll check that later and see if I'm right or wrong. Other things you need to know. You need to know the square roots of all of these. And you should go up to about square root of 100, maybe 144. So remember what those square roots are. So maybe having a list down the side here could help. So let's just do that. So I've done these ones. So I'm now going to go for 49, 64, 81, 100, 121, 144. So I've got to try and remember now what these square ones were. Can you remember? 49, square root of 49. So I put square root 7. 8 and 8 that are stick on the floor. 8 8s are 64. 9 9s are 81. Most of you remember square root of 100. Square root of 121. And then finally square root of 144. So using a memory sheet, you've got all this on here, so you can just reference it quite easily if you need to do that. Now, we've got other stuff as well. So if I think of some complicated questions like this, say for instance you have the square root and you want to work out a really awkward number. Say you want to do 5.3 minus 1.2 squaring. Let's just think about the order of operations here, what we do. If I did that, and this was without a calculator, then I'd say, right, let's work out what's inside here first. 5.2, take away 1.2. So the 0.2's cancel out. 5 take away 1 is 4. So that actually is 4 squared. 16 happy days.